White House correspondent Jim Acosta is getting the information for us. What are you learning, Jim?
Yeah, Wolf, we've been anticipating these pardons to come in really at any moment. I talked to a White House official just a short while ago who said they literally could come in at any moment. So we're standing by for that. But I will tell you, Wolf, over the last 24 hours, Trump allies and associates who have been lobbying this White House for presidential pardons in these final hours of the Trump presidency, they are beginning to hear back from people inside the White House as to whether or not their clients made the cut. I talked to one of those Trump loyalists earlier today who was representing a client who was seeking a pardon. This particular ally of the president got bad news that his client was not going to make the cut. And so these notifications are going out to a variety of Trump associates, Trump loyalists around D.C. But, you know, keep in mind, we've been reporting on this for several days now, along with our White House colleagues, that Trump lawyers, White House lawyers, have been trying to button down this process to make sure that the president's pardon list does not make his final hours in office even more notorious than they are right now. But I was talking to this one Trump ally earlier today about all of this. It is worth noting that word of potential celebrity pardons coming out in this list. The word of that is starting to perturb and annoy some of these Trump loyalists who are speaking on behalf of their clients and trying to obtain pardons on behalf of their clients. And word that potentially Joe Exotic, a.k.a. Tiger King, could get a presidential pardon annoyed this one Trump loyalist. And in the words of this Trump loyalist, he said, and I'll just put this in a quote here because these aren't my words, this is the words from a Trump ally, "I'll be pissed if that dipshit does make the president's list of pardons and my client doesn't." So, Wolf, as you can see, there are some hard feelings building up as we speak among some of these Trump allies and loyalists who've been cashing in, no question about it. They've been cashing in on their access the last several weeks, trying to obtain pardons on behalf of their clients. But, of course, not all of them will make the cut, Wolf.
That's a good point, Jim Acosta. Thank you very much. You know, John Kay, let's talk a little bit about this. He's waiting literally to the last couple hours of his presidency to make an important announcement of pardons and commutations.
And that's not completely without precedent. The scope of this, I think, might be the number of them. But I remember standing across, covering the parade across from the Clinton White House as the transfer of power to the George W. Bush administration. The Mark Rich pardon came actually the morning, just hours before the inauguration. So we will wait and watch that. And again, Wolf, we're waiting. This is the last night of the Trump presidency, the Trump term. The scope of the change, I think, is what is so dramatic. Tomorrow, we start the 100-day agenda of Joe Biden. We will have to hold him accountable. Can he keep his promises? The policy shifts begin tomorrow. I think tonight what we have seen is the shift in the personal character of our president. The coarseness, the Twitter chainsaw, the disrespect of institutions, that will be gone at noon tomorrow. And still President-elect tonight, Biden, coming to town, the economy of his words, the priority on healing, the power of those pictures of the lamps honoring those who have died, our friends and neighbors, fellow Americans in the COVID pandemic. Such a dramatic shift. So we get the personal shift tonight, and the policy comes tomorrow.
It was a very dramatic difference that we saw tonight as well. 17 hours left. 17 hours left in the Trump administration, 17 hours until Joe Biden becomes the next president of the United States. We're going